You're now watching This AFC South Show, brought to you by Curtis Podcast Network, hosted by Curtis Brown, Blake Bellamy, Isaiah Michelli, and Jeff Steckel. Hello, everybody, and welcome to This AFC South Show number 84, special presentation of a Thursday night preview. Jags, Jets. I'm Curtis Brown. I'm our Texans fan, but with me is Isaiah Michelli, our resident Jags fan. And we're gonna go for about 8-10 minutes today, and we're gonna talk about what the Jags can do to get a dub over the Jets on Thursday night. And with that, Isaiah, what's up? Is it
Jaguars
Duval County
Nation.
or what? Let's
Let's
go.
ride. No,
Jaguars
no.
Nation.
Really, I mean, just there's been no quarterback better in the past 5 weeks than Trevor Lawrence. Since the start of November, he's been the number one ranked in quarterback rating, number one ranked in completion percentage, number one ranked in touchdown to interception ratio through his first touchdown since week 8. This past week, interception. Yes, that's the one. Interception. Anyways, so threw his first interception in a while. Came right back out the next drive, drove down the field, scored. Rayshon Jenkins got a pick off of a terrible play / throw by Dak Prescott. Who could have saw that coming? And we're looking to continue that momentum into week 15 with Jets.
16.
16. Dude, I am. All right, week 16. We're here. The Jets.
We are. It's 16.
It is week 16. Yes, this is a special edition Isaiah Can't Talk podcast. Anyways, couple of big numbers we need to look out for this week. I've got a couple of predictions, and I think these are going to happen. I'm basically locking these to happen. I'm locking it. Travis Etienne will break 1,000 rushing yards this week. He is at 917. He had a good game, good bounce back game this week. I think he will continue that trend. 83 yards. I think he can do it. He's had plenty of games this year over 100. Travis Etienne will break 1,000 rushing yards this week. Christian Kirk will break 1,000 receiving yards this week. The first time in his career, something that everybody said he couldn't do, and look at that, he's fucking doing it. 966. He is doing it. Okay? He's doing it. He is currently at 13.2 yards per reception. That puts him at right under 4 receptions away on average from reaching 1,000. It's going to happen. Zay Jones will break 800 receiving yards this game. He's at 764. He's continuing every single week to build on this career season for him. 3 touchdowns. I mean,
yeah.
Who could have saw the hat trick coming from Zay Jones? Like, fuck Messi. Screw the World Cup. A hat trick in our game, way better. Zay Jones, who could have saw it coming? Foyese Aluakon's at 156 tackles. He leads the league again after leading the league last year with 192. So we'll see if he can break that record this year, which on the pace that he's at, he just might. It's going to be a big week. James Robinson, I think he might be a healthy scratch again. And you know, everybody was so mad when we got rid of him, but now we're about to face him, and he's about to be facing us from the sideline. So that'll be a pretty interesting matchup there. You know, seeing how many water bottles he can hand out during the game. Travis Etienne was clearly the better choice. He's gonna roll. Trevor Lawrence is gonna roll. There's a lot of ways to lose to the Jets. There's a lot of ways to win against the Jets. I mean, at this point in time, the Jets defense is scary, but they still have some pieces that are missing currently. Their offense is cool, but they don't have Mike White. They got Zach Wilson playing. Zach Wilson is the worst quarterback out of that draft class last year, or 2 years ago now. I guess it was last year. Anyways, Zach Wilson, bad. He's one of the top interception throwers in the league, and he hasn't played since like week 6, so that's cool. He's so bad that they risked Mike White's life by putting him back in the game after getting absolutely speared by Matt Milano, and wouldn't even put Zach Wilson in.
It was such a good tackle.
Beautiful tackle. That was one of the cleanest, most beautiful tackles on a. That's the hardest you can actually hit a quarterback in modern day NFL era.
Yeah.
That is the hardest hit on a quarterback I've seen in years. The rules keep getting worse. I'm hoping to see a couple of those nice shots on Zach Wilson this weekend. Really hoping they don't let him leave legs, because that's one way he can actually potentially get us, is by using his legs and running the ball, not throwing. If they have him throw more than 30 passes, it's an easy dub for Jacksonville. They're going to try and run the ball a lot. Michael Carter's back. He's been back for a couple weeks now. They're going to try their best to get him rolling. I'm trying to pull it up right now and see actually if James Robinson is a healthy scratch, which, I mean, wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, it's like, cool, you got him. I mean, they didn't pay much for him.
Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting week. I think the defense is going to continue to get better like they have the past couple weeks. I mean, they let up 34 points against the Cowboys. The Cowboys have one of the leading scoring offenses in the league. There's not many teams they haven't put up a lot of points on. Shout out the Texans for almost taking that one home last week. But no, I mean, this is going to be an interesting game. I think that this is going to be a lower scoring game, honestly. Kind of weird to say, but I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game for the Jets. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to put up 3 touchdowns. Travis Etienne will probably have 1 or 2. Um, you know, I'm feeling myself, bro. We're coming after the Titans. We're 1 game back on them now. They did, the Chargers did their job. Got a Chargers fan friend, told them that they better do their job, and they did. It's a big week in Jacksonville. I mean, there has been one season since 2010, and that was 2017, where we've had meaningful games in November, meaningful games in December. I've been a Jaguars fan since I was born in 2000, and it is now 2022. And yeah, we have not been in the hunt for the playoffs more years than we have, and that pisses me off. It's nice to be there in the spotlight. Everybody wants to try and talk down and say, "Oh, injury is this, injury is that." I don't blame injuries for losses. If I did that, I'd be, the the Jaguars would have been the greatest team of all time, because we just had so many injuries in the past, and that's why we suck. But
Yeah.
this is gonna be a good one. We come in pretty healthy. Trayvon Walker's still questionable. Chad Muma is expected to play. Trevor Lawrence is questionable again for his toe, but he's questionable every week now just because he's having some soreness. So they're going to put him on there.
Yeah.
I think we only had one did not participate, which was Brandon Sheriff, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting. I definitely think that the Jets have a chance to win this game, but I do not think they will. Jawan Taylor coming back is going to be a really, really, really important play here. He hurt his hamstring last game. Both of our tackles went down. Walker Little filled in at right tackle, and then Jawan Taylor came back in and gritted it out, and Walker Little moved to left tackle. Cam Robinson is officially out for the season with a torn meniscus in his right knee. So that does suck. Brandon Scherf is actually questionable. Andrew Wingard is questionable with the shoulder injury. Walker's ankle is feeling better, but we'll have to see. The Moominator is lifted off of the injury list, so that's great.
The Moominator.
The Moominator. Is Brees Hall back? Or is
There's
he
no
still
way.
just? Is he still just? No, he's injured reserve. They just didn't have him on the injury report because he's injured reserve. But I'm sorry, he's still their leading rusher because their offense is so bad.
Yeah. They
But
just cannot move the ball on the ground.
yeah, I mean, the one that scares me, Garrett Wilson. That
Yeah.
dude's electric. If they're going to beat us, the Wilson to Wilson connection needs to be there. I mean, we have the #1 defense in pass deflections. We have 3 players in the top 10 for pass deflections right now. Tyson Campbell, Darius Williams, that's his name, and then Rayshawn Jenkins. I was calling for the trade of Rayshawn. Glad we didn't. He's the first player in NFL history to have 18 tackles and 2 interceptions in one game. One of those being a game-winning interception.
Nice.
It's gonna be a good week. This is really a week where we have to win because we're really good at beating good teams and then losing to teams we probably should be more competitive with. The line is 0.5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the Jets' favor. So I mean, we're getting more respect every week to these teams that they originally in the beginning of the year would have said we got blown out by.
Yeah.
We're getting that respect, and that's what I'm looking for. So we'll see. That's really all I've got. Again, I think Travis Etienne will break a grand. Christian Kirk will break a grand, and Zay Jones is going to break 800 this week. It's going to be a week where we continue to roll.
If I'm not mistaken, Trevor Lawrence sits at like roughly 3,600 passing yards on the season.
35-20, if I'm not mistaken. I had the stats up there, but Yeah, 3,520 rushing yards or passing yards. Geez, yes, 35-20 for passing. 24 touchdowns, long of 59, which was last game. 7 interceptions on the season. He's only been sacked 24 times. He's currently at a season rating of 96.6. Since the start of November, he's in a 111.21.
If he throws an average of 300 yards per game over the final 3 games, he will be the Jaguars' new leading passer.
Yep. He has yeah,
Like,
I mean he's going to be the greatest Jaguars quarterback of all time. Not that that's going to take too much. But yeah, he's going to do it at this point as long as he can stay healthy in his career. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun to see. I'm excited.
yeah.
It's gonna be a good game.
Dude, this game's going to be pretty good. I like the matchups with the Jacksonville Jaguars linebackers. And the only other offensive weapons that I think that the Jets actually have is the tight end room. They do have some pretty versatile tight ends with C.J. Uzama and Tyler Conklin, who last season was with Minnesota. He's a pretty athletic guy. They, on occasion, this season, have been able to take over games for the Jets, and they do better when the tight ends are involved. I think if the Jets are going to win this game, they're going to have to lean into that tight end duo as well as Wilson that you meant on the outside, the receiver Wilson.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get things going, because I do think the Jags are playing with a little bit more purpose than they have in a long time, in recent memory, I guess. And I think the Jets are this is their game to lose, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a Jets team that is floundering. They started the season 7-2, and then have been just abysmal since then. 7-3 maybe. Lost 5 games in a row.
Yeah. Looking like the Titans.
Yeah. I mean, I think they started 6-2 and have gone like 1-5 over the last, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. They're bad.
They're bad.
Yeah.
This is a Jets team that I don't think even they think they're going to make the playoffs at this point. Their offense has not shown much signs of life. I mean, Zach Wilson threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick last week. But, I mean, it really wasn't like, God, it's just like random fluky plays. Like he's just kind of running for his life and hums it, and then somebody kind of bails him out, rather than like, oh, I'm able to hit a slant. Just not a fan of the BYU man. I respect his game off the field, but beyond that, not much of a fan. I mean, he's so bad that like they'd rather start Flacco.
Yeah.
But they wasted too much capital on this man to not let him play. They're in a rough spot, and I bet they'd probably move on from Wilson in the offseason. But the Jags' way to win, they got to get that run game going with ETN. I don't think you have to lean on Trevor Lawrence in this game. I think he's definitely playing well enough to where if it happened and you needed it to happen, he's definitely there to do it, and do it as well as you need it to happen. But I don't think that's the game plan. I think the game plan is go in there, control the clock, make this their kind of game, get up early. An ideal situation for the Jacksonville Jaguars is they show up and they do exactly what they did to the Chargers. And they just throw up a bunch of points and make the other team quit by halftime. If something like that can happen, I think that there's going to be a lot of people seriously changing their minds on this Jacksonville Jaguars organization, and Trevor Lawrence more specifically, who is definitely getting a lot more notoriety as of late. But with that, you got anything else, brother?
No, I mean, finally, the national media is acknowledging Jacksonville actually could win this division. I mean, there's actually been a lot of people, Rick Eisen, got a lot of people saying that, Jacksonville's going to be the one to take this. So we'll see. I'm excited about it.
They're the one with momentum going to this point, and I think that hold on. I think a certain team has a chance to pick up a W, but we'll talk more about that one on Friday.
I sure hope so.
With that, I think we're going to wrap it up here. So, folks, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Isaiah, thanks for coming on, and thank you all for watching. Be good people.
Man, herbs.